Hey guys, welcome back to another Sorted George Garage with me, Julian. Your classic vehicle and its wiring. Could there potentially be a fire waiting to happen? Now, the footage you're about to see I recorded a while back, and I don't know why I didn't end up in another video, but hey, it is what it is. I've since rebuilt the engine and done the wiring, etc, etc. Now, when you first get your classic vehicle, like this one, she's been stood since 2005, and what most people do, obviously, they go through it and check it, right? Check it out, whether there's water leaks, whether like the alternator's charging or whatever. So you check your wiring, especially if you've had rodents. I had a couple of mouse houses in here, so I wanted to check the wiring. And what I did find was my alternator was not charging, or at least the system was not being charged. Didn't know if it was the alternator, if it was the wiring, if it was the battery, voltage regulator, you name it. So obviously I had to investigate. And what I came across wasn't caused by rodents. Let's just say it was human error. Have a look at this. Right, I've just put in a new fusible link. Okay, the originals, these two wires, this black one and the fusible link, are joined at this connection, but with the new ones you actually get a separate circular terminal to be able to go onto the starter solenoid from this one that goes over to this little box over here. Okay, now this is the fusible link, or the old one, okay? And this is basically, what you can see is what I could see because it was wrapped up in tape, okay? Now I took the tape off and that is what was underneath, okay? That there. Now whilst I was cutting through, I mean you can see how bad this is, but I was cutting through and I cut through the actual sheath and you can see how old and powdery, etc. that wire is, right? So I've put the new fusible link on. Now back under the hood, this black wire that I've got where my thumb is, okay, is now connected to that red wire and covered up by this, right? And I noticed that that also was a little bit on the melted side. So I've taken that apart. This wire just came out. Hang on. That wire just fell out of that sheath. I wondered why my alternator wasn't given a charge. I've taken the tape off here and you can see where it has been joined, but look at the state of this. Absolutely unbelievable. Now I know what it is. It's because all of the power from the alternator goes through this gauge first before it gets distributed to any of like the lights or anything like that. That ammeter is a huge cause for underhood fires due to wiring. Unbelievable. Look at the state of that. I mean, look, it's not been chewed or anything by a rodent. That is just started to melt. I tend to leave them in, like if I've seen the back of the actual dash and they're all right, then I tend to leave them in. But when I've got wiring like this, there is obviously a fault somewhere, and yeah, all of that power is going through the dash first and then comes back out here. Right, let's sort this out. Here we go. Right, off camera, I've just started to strip back what was covered. OMG. Right, so that's, I believe, is the black wire coming from the ammeter. So we've got a connector there. Then we've got I mean, look at the state of it. Then we've got another connector, right? which then went onto this, and I don't know why, but there's like cloth wrapped around that wire, then goes into this one. Get the state of that in there, and then that goes through there and up under the dash and connects to the black wire coming from the ammeter. So tell you what I'm going to do, right? I'm just going to connect them up because I just want to see whether or not the alternator is actually charging or whether I've got a problem somewhere else, because obviously that would cause a lot of voltage drop. So now that has been discovered and I can get it out of the way, I'll just quickly connect it up and see what happens as regards like voltage going round. So that's what I'm going to do. Wow, I can't get over that. See, I don't get this. Why is there... Where's he gone? Why have they used a wire that's covered in cloth? You know, covered in material. Don't get that. That is quite a thin wire. You know, I mean, that's a thick gauge wire, that black one. So, yeah. Oh well. Right, let me just try that out and I'll come back. Here we go. Right, I've just put a temporary connection in. I mean, that is in strong. That ain't going nowhere. Sorted, George. Right, I've got the old multimeter set up. So let's go and give it a quick start and see what happens. Here we go. Oh, well, there you go. The multimeter has just gone, sorry, not the multimeter, the ammeter has just shot right up. So looks like I haven't got anything wrong with the alternator. It was just that wiring over there. Sort of, George. When I done the video of the turn signal, I was having a look at the back of the dash. I was able to see it, and it actually looks all right. So yeah, there you go, look at that. We're up to 1420, 1430. So that's working fine. Nothing wrong with that at all, it was just that wiring. Right, so the next day, I've just been having a look at this. Right, fusible link. Obviously it's old, but guys, you can see why it is that you need to keep an eye on the old fusible link. Change it out. That is just awful. Dreadful. And this one was coming from what is the negative side of the ammeter, right? So let's get you in focus. Look at this. Unbelievable, isn't it? Now this, I was having a chat with my mate Rupert about this, and I think he is 100% right. That wire, I believe we are right in saying, that is radio wire. That's like wire coming out of the back of an old radio, old 50s, 60s radio. Good God. Why would you use that as part of the ammeter? There's no ampage going through, you know, like that won't take any ampage at all. No wonder all this lot melted. Look at it. Wow. Guys, keep an eye on your wiring. That is a fire waiting to happen, and you're going to lose your classic up in flames. At the end of the day, guys, well, a lot of the time, a very high percentage of the time, we are not the original custodians of these vehicles, right? We weren't the first ones to purchase them. We are owners quite a way down the road. Some of them have had 3 or 4 owners prior. Other people have, other vehicles have had like 10 owners prior. The thing is with that is you don't know what kind of things people have done. For argument's sake, like this. Now, I know that this vehicle, the previous owner had it 30 years. It was her father's previous to that. But if you get somebody else that's worked on the vehicle and the owner doesn't know how they've done it, or they've done them a favour, blah, 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 you don't know what it is that they might have done. And to use radio wire, as part of the alternator, charging system is a huge no-no. Yeah, that was definitely a fire waiting to happen. But hey, at least we've rectified it. So basically, guys, please keep an eye on your wiring. Have a look. Have a look up under the dash to see what there is, because sometimes, wires just get twisted together and that's it. That's no good. I hope that this has helped you out. Please like, share, hit the subscribe button as well if you wouldn't mind, because it will help this channel grow. Guys, I will see you on the next one. It's Sorted George Garage. Banging.